Every legend leaves a trace. Some linger in memory, others in things that were never meant to fall into human hands. In the Myths Belief Store, you'll find artifacts, talismans, and relics steeped in the darkness of ancient faiths. Enter if you dare to touch what is forgotten and terrifying. Link in the description. I saw a beast rising out of the sea, with 7 heads and 10 horns, each horn crowned, and each head bearing names of blasphemy. The creature I beheld resembled a leopard. Its feet were like those of a bear, and its mouth like the mouth of a lion. The dragon bestowed upon it his power, his throne, and great authority. One of the beast's heads appeared mortally wounded, yet the wound was healed, and the whole world stood in awe and followed the beast. They worshipped the dragon for giving power to the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying that no one could compare to it or stand against it. It was given a voice that spoke proud and defiant words, and it was allowed to act for a set time. It opened its mouth to speak against the Most High, against his name, and against those who dwell in heaven. It was permitted to wage war against the faithful and to overcome them, and authority was granted to it over every tribe, people, language, and nation. All who were not written in the book of life bowed before it. And I saw another beast rising from the earth, having 2 horns like a lamb, yet speaking with the voice of a dragon. It exercised all the authority of the first beast in its presence and compelled the earth and its inhabitants to worship the first beast, the one whose deadly wound had been healed. It performed great signs, even calling fire down from the sky before the eyes of the people. By these signs it deceived the inhabitants of the earth, urging them to create an image of the beast that had been wounded by the sword yet lived. Power was given to this image so that it could speak and cause those who refused to worship it to be killed. It forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and enslaved, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, so that no one could buy or sell unless they bore the mark, the name of the beast, or the number that represents it. And that number is the number of a man, 666. This is how one of the most mysterious and terrifying visions of the apocalypse begins. A revelation that has ignited the imagination of people around the world for 2,000 years, stirring both fascination and fear. In today's episode, we will take a closer look at this prophecy, try to understand what the author might have meant, what symbols he hid within his vision, and how his words can be related to the modern world. Because even though the text was written in ancient times, its echo still returns, especially when we speak about power, control, and the limits of human freedom. Today, many scholars emphasize that the apocalyptic beast does not have to represent a literal monster. In ancient writings, symbols often depicted systems of power rather than physical beings. For this reason, the beast can be interpreted as a metaphor for a force that rises above humanity, a force without a face, yet influencing every aspect of life. In this sense, the beast becomes an image of an organization, a government, a corporation, or a technology that begins to slip beyond human control. It is a structure that does not need 7 heads to see everything. A network of cameras, algorithms, and databases is more than enough. It does not need 10 horns to rule. Access to information is sufficient to predict, evaluate, and shape human behavior. In this way, the beast is not a mythical creature, but a system that places itself above the individual, deciding who has the right to exist within society and who becomes excluded from it. The mark of the beast, described as a sign on the hand or the forehead, has long been interpreted as a symbol of belonging and submission. In ancient times, it could signify loyalty to a ruler. Today, many see it as a metaphor for technological identification, something without which a person ceases to exist within the system. It may be a number, a code, a profile, a digital certificate, an app, an implant, anything that allows authorities to track, control, and evaluate citizens. In a world where every movement leaves a digital trace, the mark of the beast becomes a symbol of lost privacy and complete dependence on technology. And the number 666, instead of functioning as a magical incantation, becomes a warning sign, a reminder that any power seeking to know everything about a person can easily become absolute. In this interpretation, John's prophecy is not a description of a monster from the depths, but a warning about a world in which people surrender their freedom in exchange for convenience, safety, and digital identity. The motif of the beast, its mark, and total control over humanity has long permeated pop culture. Creators of films, games, and books often use these symbols to portray worlds where the individual loses freedom to a powerful system. In Equilibrium, society is suppressed by a regime that eliminates emotions, and every sign of individuality is treated as a crime. In Orwell's 1984, Big Brother watches every step, and truth exists only when the system approves it. In The Matrix, people live in an illusion created by machines, completely subordinated to an invisible force that decides their fate. In games like Cyberpunk 2077 or Deus Ex, megacorporations take over the role of states, and technology becomes a tool of control, manipulation, and surveillance. Even series like Black Mirror depict worlds where social ranking, digital identity, and constant observation become modern equivalents of the mark of the beast, signs that determine who you are and how much you are worth. Pop culture constantly reminds us that John's vision may be not only a prophecy, but also a metaphor for our own fears about a world where technology and power intertwine into a single, unstoppable force. And now a question for you. Is the mark of the beast just an ancient symbol or a warning about the future? Does technology give us freedom or slowly take it away? Are we living in a world that increasingly resembles apocalyptic visions? Or is 666 a metaphor that every era interprets in its own way? Let us know in the comments what you think. If you enjoy dark stories about myths, symbols, and ancient beliefs, leave a sub, a like, and join us for the next episodes.